Ravens made a last-minute change. And this had to have been last minute, bro, because I was even talking to Nero about the Stallions. So if Nero's got, like, there's no way that this shit just has been planned. Like, must have been like a last-minute thing. And, if you're Gio, you're probably fucking pissed. Because I'm pretty sure Gio was on a roster, and then, whoop-de-doo, a few days later, a week later, bada bing, bada boom. And, Gio's not there. Unless maybe he's a substitute, right? All these teams got to have substitutes. So you never know who's going to be on these teams for sub reasons. You know what I mean? So I will say you do kind of minimize, we were talking a lot about this roster and just talking about just kind of like the AR presence and, kind of their pace and how we were worried about their pace a little bit. You kind of eliminate that now because Nero is obviously a very aggressive player, and so is Lurks, and so is Craze. So I actually don't mind the change that much because I feel like before it was kind of like you had like your two slow ARs and then your two fast-paced subs, and I just don't know if they were going to see the game the same way and if they were going to like get on the same page. But I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, is Nero going to be a flex? Right? Like, what's happening with this team exactly? Like, is Nero becoming a flex player? Is Lurks going to be the flex? Is Craze going to be the flex? Is there even going to be a flex? I mean, I talk about this all the time. Like, I feel like the main AR role is kind of gone now. I feel like, you have your flexes, you know what I mean? But, we really don't know how the game's going to play out. Like, I saw some people saying, oh, it's a 3 subs and 1 AR. Like, this is not going to work. But, the game might be 3 subs and 1 AR. The game could be 3 ARs and 1 sub. It could be 2 and 2. It could be 4 subs. It could be 4 ARs. Like, we just don't know, right? We just don't know. But I will say, you do have talent on this team, and I think that's good. I do like seeing talent, right? Because I think mechanically, I think Nero is very talented. Same with Lurk, same with Craze, same with all. I mean, all of them. I mean, Slash is definitely the slowest one on the team, but you need that. I mean, if he's going to be the AR player, I mean, he's going to be the guy kind of behind these guys, kind of, being the backbone of the team if they all die, right? Like, he's going to be the last one standing. He's going to be the one looking over these guys. I do think this is kind of like a last ride for Austin. Like, if he plays well and they do well, then, I can see Austin, making some moves. And one thing I will say is I do like that Carolina's taking risk. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Like, picking up Lurks and Craze, like, half their team is already a risk, and I like that, right? Like, you're not picking up, like, the same people just over and over again. Like, you're trying to do different things. It's a half-assed risk. You think so, Neon? But, Neon, you got to think, like, some of these teams don't take any risk, right? So, like, seeing Carolina, Neon, like, actually take risks somewhere makes me happy, especially in the sub role. Do you think Lurks is around the right people as a rookie? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I feel like for a rookie, it's really important that you give him confidence and you let him play his game because, bro, I know Lurks and he has a really good understanding of the game. Like, he's a really good, really aggressive player. I think that Slasher is going to help him a lot become more consistent. Same with Nero. Like, I think Slasher's going to have to be that guy to kind of help these guys be more consistent. But I also don't think Slasher should overdo it where, he's kind of over managing them and they kind of just lose their confidence and they lose their playmaking ability. Like, they're overthinking every play they make, right? Like, I want this team to be free flow and play with confidence and play with pace. And at the same time, they got to minimize their mistakes and play, play consistently right? Like, you don't want these guys making mistakes. I think that's where Liddy comes in. I think Liddy's going to have to teach these guys a lot, and I think he will. I think he can, right? Liddy's been around for a long time. Uncle Big Nose Luigi 4 and 23. Uncle Big Nose. 0 rings, of course.